Common types of travel touristic attractions. These days, a lot of people want to travel all over the world, so they select many destinies. We selected 3 regions: South America, Asia, and Europe. Now, I'm going to talk about Machu Picchu. This is the famous home of Incas. An ancient sanctuary was all built with stones. Also, is one of the 7 wonders of the world. The ruins are located about 50 miles northwest of Cusco, in the Cordillera of Vilcabamba of the Andes Mountains. It is perched above the Urubamba River Valley in a narrow saddle between 2 sharp peaks, Machu Picchu and Huayna Picchu, at an elevation of 2,350 meters. Now, I'm going to talk about the Iguazu Falls. These falls are very similar to Niagara Falls, but these ones are located in South America. They originate from the Iguazu River and they are located at the border of Brazil, in the state of Panama and Argentina. The magnificent spectacle of these 275 individual drops has avid tourists, locals, and indigenous inhabitants for centuries. In fact, the Iguazu Falls are what divides the river of the same name into these upper and lower portions, a fact that has given rise to several myths and legends as their origin. This river forms the boundary between Brazil and Argentina, making it a significant part of the political and geographical structure of the continent of South America. One of the most popular cities in Brazil, because of the carnival and beautiful beaches. The bustling city of Rio de Janeiro has been one of Brazil's most popular and frequent tourist destinations for decades. Its vibrant city center is bursting with culture and pulsating with a deep sense of history and heritage. Rio, as it is commonly known, is the 2nd largest city in Brazil and the 3rd largest metropolis in the whole of South America. It is the most visited city in the southern hemisphere. The Quilotoa Lagoon is a dead volcano with a beautiful emerald green water, a beautiful place to visit in Ecuador. Laguna Quilotoa is choked with a rugged countryside, crisscrossed with well-worn hike trails crawling all over the Andes Mountain. The area is still home to many indigenous people, who make their living farming on the land much as they have for thousands of years. You'll see there homes and patches of farmland during the hillsides and meet them on the trails, never usually wearing traditional Andean clothing and often heading sheep with a llama or 2. Now, I'm going to talk about Europe and Paris, one of the most charming cities in the world with romantic and artistic environment. Paris is city and capital of France, situated in north-central part of the country. For centuries, Paris has been one of the world's most important and attractive cities. It is appreciated for the opportunities it offers for business and commerce, for study, for culture, and for entertainment. Its gastronomy, painted, and intercultural community special enjoy an enviable reputation. Now, in Italy we have Rome. It is known as the Eternal City because in the time stop. Its light travel back in time. Rome is known as the Eternal City, and also Caput Mundi, coming from Latin and meaning capital of the world. Rome was built on the 7 hills, a term coined to describe the Capitoline, Quirinale, Viminale, Esquiline, Caelian, Aventine, and Palatine hills surrounding on the old community. Barcelona, cosmopolitan city with a great importance in the culture and traditions. Mention that it is Spain's major Mediterranean port and commercial center, and is famed for its individuality, culture, interstate, and physical beauty. The city is indeed a major culture center, with remarkable history and abodes with arcades, libraries, museums, and buildings of interstate, featuring superb examples for modern and art, novels, decor, and architecture. London, one of the most visited cities because of the most economy, architecture, culture, and tourism. It is among of the oldest of the world. Great cities, its history is spanning nearly 2 million and one of the most cosmopolitan. By far Britain's largest metropolis, it is also the country's economy, transportation, and cultural center. It is physical and
political center with a main court district and no clear hierarchy among them. In Germany we have Berlin. Berlin famous because of the Wall of Berlin and the history of the war capital and chief urban center of Germany. The city lays on the heart of the North Germany plain, outward and the east-west commercial and geographic axis on the Helvet, making the capital of the Kingdom of Prussia and the formed 1871 of unified Germany.
There are many types of tourist places. I'm going to talk about Asia. This is a quiet, large continent and with a culture very different from the western part. First, I'm going to talk about a place in Japan. It's the capital of this country, Tokyo. The capital city of Japan is also home to the Imperial Palace and the seat of government and parliament. In East Central Honshu, the largest of Japan's main island. This heavily populated city is well worth exploring. Another place to visit in Asia is Singapore. Many people talk about this place for the amazing buildings. This place is immaculate, efficient. Singapore is a miracle sign, particularly for travelers familiar with modern Asian metropolis. The city maintains a remarkable balance of green space and skyscrapers, in addition to sustained ethnic enclaves like Little India and Chinatown. Singaporeans are determined and patriotic. They are proof of the attractiveness of the city and the old proper customs. A place for the spiritual people is the Jama Masjid. It's the biggest and the most reserved mosque in Delhi. The buildings rise above the splendor of the Red Fort towering over the old Delhi area. Set on an elevated mount that can be reached via an ascent some 35 steps. It is the finest example of the three-dome Mughal mosque. Religious tourists, however, is not only destination-oriented. It can also imply attracting large segments of the market. So, Jama Masjid is a place with this purpose. In conclusion, the places are a means by which you can get to know many new things, and with that experience go the tourist and the locality benefit.